It's time for Cycle 3, Week 15. Some things you might need this week, again, we're going to look at our timeline cards. You might want to grab a map of the United States. This week, we're actually going to make something with Play-Doh for geography. And I have my basket of friends over here to see who's going to join us. So if you want to grab a stuffed animal again or something else, but other than that, I think you'll be able to handle this week without a problem. So let's get started. The first thing we're going to do this week is talk about timeline. Now, in our song, it keeps going along exactly from where we started. If you remember last week, we ended on Baroque period. So this week, it's going to go straight into Baroque period. Japan's isolation. Jamestown and Plymouth colony founded. Age of Enlightenment, circa 1650 to circa 1800. Hudson Bay's Company, First Great Awakening. Classical period of the arts, the 7 Years' War. What do you guys think? Do you think I should quit my job and become a singer? I'm not sure about that. So, now let's see. Who's going to help us with our timeline song this week? Oh, I think I've got a winner. Pinky the Bunny. Do you guys like Pinky the Bunny? So, Pinky's going to help us again. We're going to start with the first one. Japan's isolation. It's really hard to see with this bunny face on. Jamestown and Plymouth colony founded. Dun, dun, dun. The Age of Enlightenment, circa 1650 to circa 1800. Hudson Bay's Company. The First Great Awakening. Classical period of the arts. And the last one for this week is the 7 Years' War. Okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you, since we are acting like a bunny, I want you to pause the movie, and I want you to turn on the timeline song, and I want you to hop around until, from the beginning of the song, all the way to the end where you see the 7 Years' War. Can you do that for me? Can you hop around your house while you listen to the timeline song? Let's go over it again so you know exactly which ones are this week. You ready? Japan's isolation. Jamestown and the Plymouth colony founded. The Age of Enlightenment. Makes me think of really smart people being enlightened. Hudson's Bay Company. Okay, got another one for you. The First Great Awakening. So we've been enlightened and in an awakening. The Classical period of the arts. Again, makes me feel a little fancy. The 7 Years' War. I bet some of you that are watching this are not even 7 years old, and some of you are. Can you imagine a war going on that long? Crazy. Okay, so remember, for timeline, I want you to pause it, I want you to listen to your song, and I want you to hop around like a bunny. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, this week in history, we're learning about immigrants coming to America. Our sentence says, tell me about immigrants coming to America. From 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came from America, seeking freedom and opportunity to increase their personal wealth. Now here's the song.
Coming to America. From 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came to America.
Coming, hold on.
Seeking freedom and the opportunity to increase their personal wealth.
1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came to America seeking freedom and opportunity to increase their personal wealth. 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came to America seeking freedom, the opportunity to increase their personal wealth. All right, we're going to do it again. We're going to sing along without the music. From 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came to America seeking freedom and the opportunity, cha-ching, to increase their personal wealth, cha-ching. All right, let's do it one more time. You see I've got my helper back here. We're going to do it one more time. From 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came to America seeking freedom and the opportunity, cha-ching, to increase their personal wealth, cha-ching. I hope you guys find something to do to make that fun, and I'll see you on the next one. All right, guys, I'm super excited about math today. We're going to learn about metric measurements. And if you remember, I had a picture last week for our other measurements. This week, I'm going to show you it first so you can see. Our metric measurements are 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. And 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. Now, what do you notice about this? I notice there's lots of ones and zeros. That means all of the metric measurements are based on 10. So if you do 10 millimeters, you get 1 centimeter. But then look, 10 times 10 is 100. So 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. And the same thing when we're talking about meters to kilometers. So here's our song this week. Are you ready? Let's look at this again to make sure we know. 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. And 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. Before we do the song, let's talk a little bit more. When you're talking about millimeters or centimeters, it's going to be things that are really small. You might use those to measure a coffee cup. You might use those to measure a pencil or something small. When you get into meters, a meter might be how tall you are or how tall a ceiling in your house is. And then when we talk about a kilometer, that's measuring, like we would use that to measure distance again, or maybe the height of a mountain. So centimeters and millimeters are teeny tiny, and kilometers are super big. Okay, so gotta get your clapping hands, okay? We're gonna go 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. These are the metric measurements. Ready? 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. These are the metric measurements. Now, that one part, that's a famous song if you want to go ask mom or dad about it. That 1 meter. My voice doesn't want to go that high, so I want to hear you try it and see if you can get it really high up there. You ready? All right, get your clapping hands ready. 100 millimeters. Oh, I messed up. Goodness gracious. Okay, let's try that again. 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. These are the metric measurements. All right, I want to hear you guys trying that, so we're going to do it one more time. You ready? I'm going to try to get that note again. 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. These are the metric measurements. All right, good job, guys. Okay, guys, this week in geography, we're talking about the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes are located up here in the United States. And if you notice over here, I've written them all out because I wanted you to notice the first letter of the lakes spell homes. That can help you remember their names. Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Lake Superior. Now, I've made a little boat. Kind of looks like a canoe. So we're going to go over those again. Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Lake Superior. And I know this doesn't surprise you, but I have a song for us. It goes to the song Father Abraham. The United States of America has 5 great lakes. Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Superior. The United States of America, they have 5 great lakes. Lake Huron and Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Superior. Let's try it one more time. The United States of America has 5 great lakes. Lake Huron and Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Superior. Hey guys, this week in science, we're talking about what are parts of an atom. So I'm going to show you a picture I have right here. What are some parts of an atom? Some parts of an atom are the nucleus, protons, neutrons, quarks, leptons, and neutrons. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. Miss Megan has had to make this part of the video several times because I can't get the song right. So you're going to have to help me out here. It goes along to the same tune as the other ones we've learned this week. What are some parts of an atom? Some parts of an atom are nucleus, protons, electrons, quarks, leptons, neutrons. Hey, I think I got it! Okay, now you try it with me and my friend, Mr. Giraffe. What are some parts of an atom? Some parts of an atom are nucleus, protons, electrons, quarks, leptons, and neutrons. I think I messed up on the last part. You'll have to go listen to the whole song and see if you can do it better than me because I am struggling today. Okay, we're going to try it one more time. What are some parts of an atom? Some parts of an atom are nucleus, protons, electrons, quarks, leptons, and neutrons. I think I got it that time. Man, I can't wait to hear you all sing that whole song together. So that's my challenge, is once you get this part mastered, I want you to go try to listen to all 3 weeks and see if you can sing it together. And then guess what? It keeps going to next week. So let's try this one more time. What are some parts of an atom? Some parts of an atom are nucleus, protons, electrons, quarks, leptons, neutrons. All right, see you in a minute. Okay, this week for English, our word is to write. Like we're writing something down, we're writing a letter, something like that. So the infinitive is to write. The present tense is write or writes. The past tense is wrote. The present participle is writing. And the past participle is written. So let's think of some sentences. I write a letter. She wrote a letter to her grandma. I am writing a letter to my teacher. Or I have written a story at home. So let's practice again. To write, write or writes, wrote, writing, written. One more time. To write, write or writes, wrote, writing, written. Okay guys, in Latin we're already to John 1:3. And this week John 1:3 says, omnia per ipsum facta sunt. Now the O says omnia. Can you do that? Omnia. Omnia per ipsum facta sunt. And what does that mean? All things were made by him. So let's say it one more time together. Omnia per ipsum facta sunt. All things were made by him. Now, let's see here. I've got a chicken. give a little more respect to reading scripture. So we're going to read it one more time, and I want you to read it strong, and I want you to read it like you know exactly what it's saying. Omnia per ipsum factus sunt. All things were made by him. And aren't we thankful that all things were made by God? Okay, guys, now it's time for review. That was a lot of fun this week. So remember, in timeline, we went from Japan's isolation, Jamestown and the Plymouth colony founded, the Age of Enlightenment, Hudson Bay's Company, the First Great Awakening, the classical period of the arts, the 7 Years' War. Okay, and then in math, we talked about metric measurements. Remember, that's the one we rocked out to. 10 millimeters equals 1 centimeter. 100 centimeters equals 1 meter. 1,000 meters equals 1 kilometer. These are metric measurements. All right, so the next one we did was history. Tell me about immigrants coming to America. From 1820 to 1930, more than 37 million immigrants came to America seeking freedom and the opportunity, cha-ching, to increase their personal wealth, cha-ching. All right, then we talked about the Great Lakes, which were Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Lake Superior. And remember, that one had a song too. The United States have 5 Great Lakes: Lake Huron, Lake Ontario, Lake Michigan, and Lake Erie, and Lake Superior. Okay, we did parts of an atom, and that went to our science song. What are some parts of an atom? Some parts of an atom are nucleus, protons, electrons, quarks, leptons, and neutrons. Remember, Miss Megan really struggled with that song this week, so hopefully you can catch on better than I did. In English, our verb was to write, and we did write or writes, wrote, writing, written. I would challenge you to use that verb and maybe write someone a letter this week. And the last one in Latin, we were on John 1:3. Omnia per ipsum factus sunt. All things were made by him. I hope you take time this week also to thank the Lord for all the things that he has made and all the things that he has created. I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you next time.